Please stand for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, Parkland. It is a day 5 and an A schedule. I'm Ethan Silver.
I'm Zander Blickley. Welcome back to Parkland TV. Attention seniors, please submit pictures and videos to the forum of the Class of 2023 Schoology page to be used in the senior video. All submissions must be submitted by today and must be school appropriate.
Thank you to the Parkland Rotary Club for this delicious bacon. The Backyardigans Club is proud to announce the officers for next year. President Uniqua, Vice President Pablo, Treasurer Tyrone, and Secretary Kayla Halle. Sing-along audition tracks will be released soon. This week is the last week the library will be open to students after school. Please return all library materials to the bin outside the library as soon as possible.
In sports news, boys volleyball crushed Whitehall 3-0, advancing them to the district finals against Emmaus. Good job. Baseball will play at DeSales University versus Liberty at 7 p.m. in their district final.
Make sure to follow our YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter at Parkland TV Film, and check out our website, parklandtvfilm.org, for updates, broadcasts, and exclusive content. I'm Ethan Silver.
And I'm Zander Blickley. Have a great day, Parkland. Now we're to Brooke and Gianna with tips and tricks on how to do stuff and things with Brooke and Gianna.
Good morning and welcome to this year's final tips and tricks on how to do stuff and things with Brooke and Gianna. I'm Brooke.
And I'm Gianna. As today marks 6 more days of the 2022-2023 school year, today will be our last tips and tricks on how to do stuff and things with Brooke and Gianna. Because of that, we're going to give you a look back on 10 of our favorite tips and tricks.
Tip number 1 is from our first tips and tricks. When we were helping you get into the spooky spirit, we gave you the tip of find a cave, go into the cave, hunt for bats, and hope for the best. I hope none of you actually did that, and please don't.
Tip number 2 is from the third tips and tricks. If you have a difficult time waking up in the morning, just create a Rube Goldberg machine. Rig your alarm clock so if you do end up hitting snooze, it will trigger an incredibly complex machine that includes but is not limited to dominoes, golf balls, rocks, baseball bats, buckets of water, and extreme heavy metal music blasting.
Tip number 3 is from our tips and tricks for Thanksgiving. I still advise against doing this, but if you're ever in need of a new recipe using leftovers, remember Gianna's tip. It was, and I quote, "My family and I make a really good turkey mush. Take the turkey and blend it with celery and mayo, then spread it on sourdough bread."
Tip number 4 is from one Ethan Earthquake Silver himself, when he made an appearance to warn us about the cold weather approaching. And although it's now summer and warm every day, remember that snow is such a magical experience.
Tip number 5 is from our Valentine's Day edition of Tips and Tricks on what not to do. The tip we're talking about is when we suggested, don't propose on Valentine's Day.
Tip number 6 is from the most hilarious tips and tricks we ever created. After Brooke said the really funny pun, "Can February March?" No, but April May? That was so #silly and goofy of her.
Tip number 7 is from when we gave you tips and tricks on how to survive the 4th marking period. It's probably one of the worst tips we've ever given you, but just don't go to school.
Tip number 8 is from our tips and tricks about cooking. Do not make my signature organic vegan brownies.
Tip number 9 is from our tips and tricks about appliances. When washing your clothes, double check that there is soap in the machine and that it's on the correct settings before starting it. We are very glad that you know how to do that now.
Tip number 10 is from this episode of Tips and Tricks. Remember to have the best summer. It'll be #worth it.
That's all for this year's tips and tricks on how to do stuff and things with Brooke and Gianna. I'm Brooke.
And I'm Gianna. We'll see you in September, Parkland.